Around. We are ready. Good morning. Put us on the live. Hey, Dennis, bonjour. Let's see how we can make this work this morning. As we welcome you to Connecting the Dots. Yes, we are ready. Put us on the live. We are ready to go. We have guests in studio. We look forward to a good program today. Nigel is there sitting pretty. Yeah. It's going to be another fun 2 hours on DBS Radio on Connecting the Dots. I'm just here waiting for the live. Maybe when I bring Nigel on, man. Nigel, you're there, right? Let's see, they'll put us on.
I'm right here.
Oh, you're right here. Okay, yes. So I'm on. I'm just waiting to see us, in living color. Yes. Okay. Yes. Yeah. All right. So, yes, I put back the theme, man. I need a little vavum there. Okay? I need a little oomph. Yeah. Let's bring it back. So, welcome, family. Bonjour. Ezola. Ola zoye. Kumabagay kamashe. Saturday. It's the 5th day in the month of July. That's my month, July. Yeah. Suspect Nigel and I will have a party. Nigel set up a party for me, because my birthday coming up very soon.
Alright, let's go see again.
Alright, but welcome, people. Welcome. Nigel, let's sing a song. Let's sing some songs in. Help me, Nigel. I want to live in your house.
Go ahead and start.
You hear the song? I want to live in your house. What does that tell you when you hear that song?
I want to live in your house.
Yeah.
You want to live in my house?
Well, not just. Well. Ellis, what Nigel, leave me, please. So play. No, but Nigel, come on. Who sings that song? Yes, boy. Who sings that song, Nigel?
I want to live in your house.
Yeah.
In my house.
Yes.
Who's singing that song there?
Life without music, I can't cope. That's another one again.
Yes,
What?
man. Yes,
No,
man.
Nigel.
They're coming for the festival, right?
Oh, Nigel, I was about to give you a box on your head there. I check in. What? That other one.
No, how can I?
Yes.
How can I not? Know
Come on, connect the dots there, man, Nigel.
All-time bands, man.
Connect the dots. That's Nigel. I'm hot with.
Yes. How can I not know one of my favorite all-time reggae bands?
Come on, man,
Yes.
Nigel. Let's sing another one.
Yes.
Ula.
That's just still in the pulse.
Sing Ula for me, man. Ula, ule.
You start the song and I continue.
Ula. Come on, Nigel. Come on.
Ula coming to now. Ula.
Push.
Yes.
Another one.
Zouk classe sel medicala.
Yes. Machiko RTS.
Zouk classe sel medicala nuni.
Machiko RTS.
Oh well, Machiko RTS. Machiko RTS. Yes, you ready for that? Good morning to you, my dear.
Rosita.
Yo te quiero, señorita. All right.
Let me go. Let me roll me body. Let me shake me boomsy. Let me party tonight.
Let me go. Oh, I like that one too. Yes. But look,
that's
look
Shield for 10. What again? Never be enough. Never. That one, right?
Look vibes are coming through. Yes.
Whoosh, another one again. We're making a mess.
Oh well, we
know that one.
We're gonna give the promoter stress.
Bef la la J. Medveye. Festival la we ve. What get
Let's go, yo, boy. Look vibes.
Man, Nigel, pour vous that song,
Yes.
pour vous moi sacrifice. Remember that song back in the day?
Oh,
World
yo,
Music
yo,
Festival?
that is another one of the favorites, man.
Pull up a cartel, Nigel. Pull up a cartel.
Sacrifice.
Your turn.
Yes.
Give me a cartel.
Give me
Your word. Sing split in the middle. Nigel, I'm tired. I bet. Look at release. No boy, Linford, Aquab, John, and many others too numerous to mention, be in the lineup.
Yes.
Yeah, booyo. So there's a lot of booyo.
And, a lot of booyo.
Talking about booyo, Nigel, you heard this latest one with Rio and Tehila, I think that's her name. She was a guest, by the way, so you should know that. You remember she was a guest. She was a guest, Tehila Libla, the daughter of Beverly Libla. She was a guest on Connected the Dots already.
Oh yeah, that's her. Right,
of course, that's her. Yeah.
Right,
remember we had fun time with her.
We had a lot of fun time with her, man.
So yes, she's on. Well, she's not on the lineup, but I'm just saying that she's really making big waves in the music business.
That's good.
Especially that collab she did with Rio. Yeah.
Continued success, man. A lot of young rising stars, if you want to call it that way.
And we have one as our guest today.
Young Booyah artists coming through.
We have one as our guest, not in Booyah obviously, but as you mentioned, young rising, But we'll talk about that. Yes. Nigel, as I taking a look to my left. Nigel, let me show you something. So I'm coming to work this morning. And since I'm approaching DBS Radio, driving, I'm taking a set, something like nice aroma, like a food something. So I say, well, what is happening there? So I open my vehicle and I'm walking towards DBS Radio and I'm saying, Majeston, that is coming from DBS, man. So Nigel, I came in and I saw a package and, my eyes open wide, but I'm not sure if it's mine or, So, next guy, and the watchman calling me and he coming in for a package. Nigel, let me just say a big thanks. Say thank you to her too, even if you're not getting it. Brenda Webster. From Bath Estate, and let me tell you something, Brenda can cook. So I went to a funeral, and after the funeral, there's always a little mortar. It's a cultural, thing for us.
Yes,
traditional.
It's part of the whole.
Yes.
So
there was something at the cemetery after the burial, and with food and all of that, just light snacks, and then at the home of the deceased, Nigel. So I drank a soup, Nigel. I mean, I always like pumpkin soup, but there's something about what Brenda did to the pumpkin soup, Nigel. So I have to talk about it. No, I was not singing for my supper. But anyway, I got something. Nigel, let me tell you something now. You want to see it, man? You see the bowl?
Yes.
So there's this bowl. So I'm just opening it, so I don't know what's in it. I'm just opening it, Nigel. Nigel,
Okay. Yes. Continue to
Nigel.
Make me baby.
Nigel,
make me baby.
I don't know. There's something about Dominicans and their generosity and the way they can cook and prepare something and Nigel.
Yes, and especially when the package.
No boy, I live in the program. I live in the program. No,
Brenda. I'll be home around the Independence time, Creole Fest time. So I'm telling you early.
I'm in the program. I need to go and
yes. All you have a habit, all you bringing things to I go when I'm not here. Yes, I'll be back again soon. So yes. I letting you know early.
Yeah. So thank you, Brenda Webster. Brenda Webster is the sister of Small Axe.
Yes.
So thank you so much for that. I remember when we used to do Diaspora Link before, and just before Diaspora Link, Alex and I would have a chit chat for a long while and just laugh back in the day. And then Ronald Stefan decided that he should partner with us and he would just bring us breakfast. Well, I was getting the breakfast all the time. Although Alex was there at the time. But Alex would travel a lot back then.
No, you're getting all the goodies when I'm not there. It's okay.
No boy, Nigel.
It's okay. You get your breakfast.
I'm flattered.
That's okay.
Thank you, Brenda Webster. But she always winning on the BS. One thing with her, whenever we have a giveaway, her name is always there. She's always winning.
That is true. So she deserves that. You know what I mean? Yeah. She deserves that.
Yes.
So yes.
But quickly, we have a guest and we have to hear from her. We don't even have much time. Look at the time already. We have 2 parts today, by the way. But Nigel, the news of the flooding in Texas, really sad, eh? It's really
man, I don't know, man. Listen, sometimes like before you could plan for certain things, certain times of the year, there was going to be a certain kind of weather, this, that time is calm, that time is rainy, that time snows no more, man.
No more, Nigel.
It's no more. And for those who still want to doubt if climate change is really real.
Yeah, and that's a lot of devs though, and many are still missing.
It is.
But as you
still
mentioned,
missing.
Climate change, when you look at extreme rainfall, and in many cases, where there is, I would say, like a rapid urban development, so it replaces a lot of the absorbent land with concrete. So when you put concrete and the water comes to reclaim its land, there's nothing that you can do really. So
and then sometimes I guess it's a balance between developments and at the same time trying to preserve, so preservation and development and conservation can be a big balance.
That is true.
How do we go about ensuring that we continue to have the land space, but at the same time we need to expand because of growing population and growing industries and everything else. So we have to learn to strike that balance.
Yes, and when this happens, Nigel, and when a lot of water washes away the soil, what happens in terms of food security. But we can talk about that when our guest comes on. We can also bring
in on
this.
She's going to tell us a little bit about that to ensure we have that food security. So. Our thoughts prayers, goes out to those in Texas, especially, during this Independence weekend.
Yes,
or July 4th Independence weekend. So hold strong, and we certainly hope they can get more survivors.
Yeah. Okay. So Nigel, look at the time already. I have a chalet there today. Let's pick up the family members who are already in. And on.
Oh, yes, well, I don't know what happened, but he started coming back very early these days. He's on time now, so yes. Good morning to you, Alvin Thomas.
Yeah,
it's nice to know that you're watching.
He abdicated his responsibilities. Ask me.
You say your turn.
My turn.
Ask everyone a question today. Your turn. Good. Ask her what's the total number of bands, artists that will be performing during the 3 nights of performance.
Well, here's my answer to this.
Total number of artists.
Okay.
Good question.
If you're referring to in terms of what was launched and released last night, maybe I can answer you.
Well, yes.
But then again, the plan is to
add more.
To add more. So ask me that question week after next.
Yeah.
Me? I think I got tired of myself there if you. Oh, wow. No, boy. I got tired of myself there.
You're tired of your
me, and I really don't know the answer. I really don't know the answer. If you guys just going to say what I want.
Miguel Murphy, good morning to you.
Oh, my goodness. Miguel Murphy, Nigel.
Miguel. The time that you spent home, yes. I was telling him that he missed out the Dominica State College graduation, but he had to be back, but he did an excellent job wise there.
Miguel Murphy should be made. I think he should be an ambassador now. Can give him a proper title that aligns with what he's doing, and especially around graduation time. I think he should come for the very first graduation. Even the Dominica Community High School, he may have to go back because normally this is April or May, thereabout. But yeah, he's really doing a lot, and
man, the way he covered all of that,
Yes. So anybody in the book, Nigel, you call
yes, Wilbert Willis. Good morning. Yes, Wilbert says, Nigel, you have great vocals. Go ahead.
What?
Thank you. Yeah, but of course, Major Jules. Good morning to you as well. Let's see. We have a new city family member. That's so nice of him. Yes. Good morning to you, Travis Etienne, of course, the organizer of
name sounds familiar.
Stranded on the Beach.
Okay.
Getting ready for the St. Martin edition.
Oh, so we can have him on, man, one of these days.
Yes, he's going to be on. But he hasn't sent me my ticket yet for the St. Martin show. And the show is in August. So I am not going to say much about the show until he connects with me and let me know when I'll be coming down.
What? That's
all right, Travis?
That's
yes.
Right.
But of course, it's going to be big. Stranded at the Beach is going to be big in St. Martin. Get ready for that. And then, of course, Jacqueline Steadman, good morning. By the way, Brenda, I want to tell you thank you for all the love, too. Blessings on you.
Yeah, man.
Yes, Edwina London, good morning to you. Elizabeth Thomas on the YouTube channel and the others, good morning.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we can't forget our YouTube people, right? Because they always say we forget it.
We should not, yes.
Yes. So it's going to be a nice morning, man. It's going to be a great morning, as always. We're going to connect and make sure it happens.
Yes.
Let's see if I can say a very quick morning to who's on the YouTube. Let's see if YouTube will allow me to to log in. I don't know. Julie London, good morning to you. She says, good morning, Ivona.
Yes.
And Nigel, I'm locked in from Houston. Welcome to all your guests, as always. And Liz says, looking forward to another great city connection. We look forward to that as well. So, we ready to rock and roll? Ready to roll?
Oh, guess maybe somebody can talk here.
She probably saying, but
who does that? She probably said, but who does that? You know.
See, who those two magic?
Yeah, I know, two big people like that. I mean, come on, she'll tell us. But no, Nigel. By the way, she used to sit and host programs, at DBS Radio. And I did not even know that until last night when I decided to do my research on her as preparation for the program. She used to host Guides in Motion for many years, so we'll get that story.
Okay. So we didn't know that part.
Yes. So I had the pleasure of meeting this young lady. Now, there are two things I read well, and Nigel, their energy and a room, a space. So when Karine started to speak, Nigel, I felt a pull. Not only was she well spoken, well read, her words came alive. She spoke with a passion about what she's involved in, Nigel, seriously, and listeners and viewers will understand when she begins to speak. I quickly made a change and put her on the program because we had somebody else. We wanted to have part 1 and part 2, but we had somebody else.
Right.
And I quickly made a change. The person agreed. So we have 2 parts today, obviously. We have her now, and then the Laplaine vacation reunion. All the chalet will come on, after that. Yes. But Nigel, very recently we have heard, we have witnessed as well, a lot of young achievers from this lovely island. They shine at primary school, at high school, at secondary school, at the college level, at universities, in entrepreneurial pursuits as well, in the arts, in medicine, and we could go on and on. This young lady is a change maker in agriculture. Nigel, I rest my case. Because when we hear her,
you have
we'll understand.
Yes.
And she comes from Maho. I did not know that as well. So she's a Maho native. Maho,
okay.
Right?
So Maho is going to be connected.
Yes.
She'll tell us a little bit more about Maho and
about her background.
And everything else.
Yes. So
but as I said, it's always a pleasure when you see young people who have, decided to make a difference. And especially in the area that she's making that difference in. So it's really nice to connect with her, and we'll find out her journey and her story and everything else. I know, as you said, she's no stranger to the microphone, as you say, right? No. Because she's the host of the program, so that's even better yet.
Yes. I said we should change shits, man.
Kisa?
We should change. No, but I'm gonna story to tell. I can't take her place. Come on.
Don't worry, your turn coming. One of the producers tell me it's time to have her. We need to hear her story.
With my bicycle, when I started at TBS Radio with my bicycle. Anyway, yes. Riding my bike to get the sports. Yes, so to me. No, boy, who does that?
Riding your bicycle to
get to go and get this. Yes. Yeah, man. Those are the days. So let's bring her on.
Yes.
Let's bring her on.
Yes, in your little jeans, in your jeans pants.
Those days was pum pum shorts. But anyway, let us go to our guests. Let's go to our guests. So, welcome, my dear.
Sandals and pum pum shorts.
You understand here, You like Beth. Welcome, my dear.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you on.
Thank
Nigel,
you.
officially welcome her. It's your turn.
I not seen us. I not going
you not see? Oh, my bad. My bad. Officially welcome her, Nigel. Once I get this working.
Yes.
Well, look at me.
We're back away.
Okay.
Before this started, oh yes.
Lovely, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Welcome, my dear Karine. It's a pleasure to have you on Connecting the Dots. We appreciate you coming here, connecting with us, sharing your journey, sharing your story. And of course, next time I'm in Dominic, I know you'll have a little basket of goodies for me as well from your farm, from what you've been producing and everything else. But welcome, man. Welcome to Connecting the Dots. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great. I've been sitting here just laughing so hard since you guys started talking.
Well, that's good. That's good. We bring the energy for you as well. And laughter is good.
Yes, absolutely.
Laughter is good. So, we like to find out a little bit about our guests. For those who don't know, of course, there are others who probably know a lot more. But, what part of Dominica is Karine from?
Oh man, I'm from Maho and St. Joseph. I was raised between both villages. My family have deep, deep roots in Maho. My grandmother, everybody know my grandmother, married. She's passed now. But she was a pillar of our community, and I guess she passed that on to me now.
Beautiful. I love that. I love that. So Maho and Senjo, right? Everyone is in the house. Yes. So I mean, we like to find a little bit about in terms of Maho and Senjo, though, and we'll go otherwise in terms of other places you've been and everything else. But what was it like growing up in Maho, Senjo, though?
Boy, you know Jamal already. Jamal. But I grew up
The
with,
village that
the
never
village that
sleeps.
never sleeps, man. Like that was my experience. But honestly, I was raised by a village. I was raised by a village. Anywhere I was in Mao, if I do something, my grandmother already know before I even reach home. But it's a community that really shaped who I am. So did Saint Joseph. You know, and I cannot thank the people enough who came in different parts of my life and really made me the person that I am today. Truly, truly. Yeah, but climbing mango tree, Kenip, Kenip season, making ding dang boy. We're walking up Belfast River with my friends. Jumping off, swimming, having good time, cooking food by the river. That was my childhood, so I appreciate it.
I like that. I like the climbing of the canop trees, guava, mango, running
Everything.
around Belfast area, everything. Were you considered like a troublesome little girl, or not
Boy,
really?
depends on you ask.
I love that. I love that.
I
Depends.
mean,
You
like
get you
my
get different answers.
yeah, different answers. My teachers at ITSS, because I'm a former ITSS student. Maybe if you sit down with them, they might tell you some otherwise. I was always a talkative student, for sure, for sure. Inquisitive, always asking questions. Um, but yeah, I was definitely a talkative student, but I excelled in school, so you take what you get.
You're able to strike the balance. I love that. Talkative, but you're still doing my work. You know what I mean? Expressing yourself, but still doing your work. So I love that. It's nice. It's nice to see that. Um, Other things that you did in the community, like as a child, were
Well,
you
I was
involved in? Hmm.
Yeah, well, I grew up in the Catholic Church, and so being part of the Catholic community in Maho was a big part of my identity growing up. You know, anything the Catholic Church in Maho was doing, as for young people, I was involved. Um, Teacher Marcia, she's someone, a mentor, godmother. She was our supervisor, our commissioner, our mother, honestly, as part of the First Mile Guides company. And I grew up in guides, I grew up in guides. I learned my identity, who I was, how to serve community. That's really when it started, is when I joined Brownies and Guides as a young girl. And the saying with guides is be prepared, like always be prepared. And our leaders molded that into our brains. They drilled that down. They tell us as young people we are at that time the future. And even if we didn't quite understand it, we were still in the community, me and my fellow guides, helping the elders, bringing food baskets, hosting, baking sales after church. Or even one year I remember we did a whole elders celebration up in Mao, Belfast, and we bring all the elderlies in the village together, and we had food for them, and games and stuff, and it was just like that was the community that I grew up in. That's like the what drove me to be the person that I am.
You see the extension of the community, apart from she and her roots in Maho and St. Joseph, and where she was raised. She brought in the guides movement. And
Yes.
wow.
The
Be
guides for
prepared.
young ladies.
Yes,
Although
and
although this
it
although we're here to deal with
yes,
agriculture and everything else, but you
yes,
mentioned guides, and then
yeah.
an opportunity for you in terms of young ladies, young girls in Dominica. What would you tell them in terms of the guides movement, and to become part of that?
I mean, do it. Absolutely do it. Because the beautiful thing about guides is that we're worldwide. I have been in different parts of the world and met other, fellow guides who shared their own experiences from their own countries. And every story that I hear is that guides shaped me to be a leader. Guides shaped me to think as a young woman, It gives you that integrity that I think a lot of young women deserves and need to know that they deserve. And it's just something, once you get a part of it, I mean, that never leaves you, The friendships that you make, I mean, I still seen some of my fellow guide sisters out there in the world shining and doing their thing. And, we tap it into each other's lives once in a while. And it's just like that longevity sisterhood that just stays. And it's a beautiful thing. So if you love beautiful things and you love positivity, like, that's the place you should be. Find a guides company and be a part of that for sure.
I'm not sure if the president of the guides movement, Joseph Serafin Hedrington, knows that you're here, but I think that the movement should do something, to help the young ladies in particular. So I'm hoping that at least somebody is listening and that they can take advantage of this opportunity. You're not here for long, but I think something should happen. Nigel, where do we go now?
So listen, I can feel the energy.
I tell you, I tell you
that
already.
Something about her presence, man. I love this.
When she speaks, you have to listen.
I love this. There's something about her. Yes. Yes, I love it. You currently reside in Dominica, right?
No, I'm in like Maryland, DC area in the United States.
Okay. Because the reason I was saying that is because there's two organizations that I think you would be wonderful to be a part of. I mean, you can still be a part of it. One is the JCs. I know, young people would love to be part of that JCs movement. And of course, the second is the Toastmasters. So, so two organizations you want to consider at some point. But yeah, so we're going to come to the Maryland and the DC and everything else and how you eventually went there and all the rest. But you went to ITSS.
Yes.
Was agricultural science one of the subjects you did at ITSS? Or
not? Absolutely. I mean, the teachers at ITSS are formidable. They had patience with me because, like I said, I was a talkative student. But agriculture science was one of my favorite subjects. And at the time, to be honest, I didn't really see agriculture as a career or something to even do outside of the classroom. Like agriculture oftentimes is equate to poverty. And as a young person, you're thinking about money, you're thinking when I grow up, I want to be a doctor, lawyer, teacher, nurse, whatever. And it just wasn't in the books in my mind. But the teachers that we had teaching us agriculture science, they made it so real because we had a lot of practicals, We were in the soil, we were on the land. And every time I was in the garden outside, I felt connected. I felt connected to the land. And I felt closer to who I was as a young person. I just didn't know it at the time, At the time, I just felt good. And I was like, this is it. But now that I'm older and I'm looking back at it, I'm like, wow, this is what that was. I was just not ready to receive what I was getting at the moment.
Wow. Everyone, man, I love the fight.
I tell you, Nigel.
Something about
we have a lot more. We have a lot more to cover, so you'll understand. Yeah.
Yes. I like that.
But let's stay on ITSS a little.
Go ahead.
Were you involved in sports? Anything apart from your love for agriculture?
Yeah, I mean, I did a little track and field. I wouldn't say I was the fastest runner, but I was there to represent my school whenever we had national, competitions and stuff like that. Hey, go Phillips. I was part of the Phillips team, at ITSS Yellow. Let's go. I have to do that shout out there. But no, I was an athletic student. I just never really took it seriously because my mind was on activism, to be honest. I was in the debate team. That's what I did. Again, I love to talk. So my teachers were like, channel that into something. And so, yeah, I joined the debate team. And there I realized that I wanted to be a lawyer because I was good at it. I was good at convincing people my side of the story. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to be a lawyer.
But what was happening at the time, though, nationally? What was happening at the time when you were at school at the ITSS that sort of pushed you to want to talk more? You said you loved the debate team. What was happening? Can you recall anything that happened during your 5-year tenure at school that sort of pushed you to want to speak about it?
I mean,
whether for or against?
So much was happening at the time. Youth Parliament was a big thing on the island, and I was part of that and experienced, what it meant on the other side of being a leader of our nation, and that was really exciting. I mean, even the year that I was in Youth Parliament, I believe Shelley was also in Youth Parliament. I think he was the what do you call it? The Speaker of the House. Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty certain. And it was just a group of really ambitious young people that were doing Youth Parliament, and the vibes in the Parliament was so, it just made me excited, and I was like, ooh, I love this. Yeah, like I love this energy and the idea of thinking about what a leader will do, in this particular situation, and the position that they will take. So Youth Parliament was a beautiful thing that was happening. Another was the Dominica Youth, what's it called? Oh man, my brain is spacing on it right now. But essentially, we were putting together a strategic plan for the Dominica Youth National Association.
National Youth Council or something?
Yeah. Okay. It's spacing me now. There's so many acronyms these days, and that was so long ago. But we went up to a retreat, and we basically sat down youth from across the island, from different, high schools, and we were asked, if Dominica Youth could be doing this, what would it look like? Create it. And so we were writing bylaws, and we were thinking strategically, and we were staying up there, and we were just, challenging each other, because we all had different views and perspectives. And at the end of it, I think something beautiful really came out of it, man.
Nice. Your involvement in different aspects of life in the communities is amazing, man, because you were there with Catholic faith and doing things they were doing in sports. You were there, youth activism, guides, a little bit of sports here and there. And in between, you were trying to plant your little things here for your agriculture. I love that vibes. So once you graduated from ITSS, what was next for Karine?
Well, the thing was, I didn't graduate from ITSS. I left ITSS probably 2 years before graduation, and moved to Maryland, D.C. area. And that's where I finished my high school career.
Okay.
So you finished up high school in the U.S.?
Yes.
Okay, so you left at about third form?
Yes.
Pretty
what was there like a big difference? If you were to explain the U.S. high schools as compared to Dominica high schools, what would you say?
I mean, it varies. The high school experience in America is that you are so overwhelmed with the amount of resources that are at your fingertips. When I went to school in the United States, I was like, wow, this is the life that you live here, So it's different in that way, in the accessibility of things. But the experience, man, I miss my friends. I miss my teachers. I miss the layout of my school, because we are blessed here to be on an island where, you're in a classroom, but you can glance outside and you see a mango tree or a canip tree or something. And when you're outside and you chilling with your friends, you can, chill under a tree and eat your snack. But over there, it just felt very constricted, for me. It was different, and the culture is drastically different. So I had to adjust. And at the time, my accent was thick. So, and I was talking fast, and people were always like, what did you say? And I was like, oh man, I need to assimilate a lot faster. But I also went to a predominantly white school at the time. And
what was that like for you?
That was an experience, being like the few black kid in the class, especially a black girl and a Caribbean girl in fact, was, everybody was asking me. I mean, I got some silly questions like, so how did you get here? By boats? Did you swim? Like, there are some racial undertones going on there, but I at the time didn't quite understand it until I graduated my senior year, and we were going into the history of the United States, because we don't really have like black discrimination here, right? There's different forms of discrimination, but being a black woman in America, a black girl in America, that I was not ready for, so but I had to learn real fast.
Yes, and you seem to have done pretty well in terms of that, because I mean, here it's the undertone, as you mentioned. It's not quite there in the open, but little subtle things make you know that it's there still.
Yes.
Yes. So and then once you were done with high school, did you do? Was there any agriculture at your school?
So interestingly enough, remember I told you I wanted to be a lawyer. So when I went up, my mind was, I'm going to be a lawyer, but most importantly, I wanted to be an environmental lawyer.
Okay.
And so that was my passion at the time. Anybody that asked me, what are you going to be? Environmental lawyer. Because I came from an island where the environment means a lot to us. Where, in our coat of arms, it says, I mean, that is something that I just carried with me, and I knew that is where I saw myself. And I went to like a college fair, and there was a table, and this woman was at this table, and she was talking about agriculture, and she mentioned a soil scientist, and I was like, what is a soil scientist? And she started explaining to me what a soil scientist does and the importance of conserving and preserving our soil. And at that time, I was like, agriculture is so much bigger than farming, than going up Zion or Jardin and putting your hands in the soil. I didn't realize that there were so many different sectors of agriculture and parts of it. And that experience, it was actually the College of Agriculture and Natural Resources from the University of Maryland. That was the table that I was at. And around the table was plastered fearless, be a taupe. And I just felt gravitated to that. I was like, fearless? I feel like I'm fearless. So maybe this is the school for me. And so I made that my mission to be attending that school, and I did.
I just see what I told you. I mean, you the way she speaks, you just want to listen. Yes. In fact, when I met her, she when she came to DBS Radio in the week, and I listened. Sometimes I like to talk, but I listened. I just had to listen, and then I tell her I could listen to you every day, even on Sundays. That's exactly what I told her, Nigel. So you see,
nice.
So hence the reason why I'm kind of quiet in the program.
I can see why you would say that.
Yeah, man.
I can see why you would say that.
She has a vibe, man. She has a vibe.
Yes, she does. So you went to that school, the College of, what's it called?
College of Agriculture and Natural Resources, AGNR for short, at the University of Maryland, College Park. Go Terps, if you're listening out here. I mean, we're very prideful.
You stayed there for how many years?
Well, I did smart with my college because, tuition in the United States is not easy, even as a resident. And I got some scholarships to attend a community college near where I lived. Okay. And so it was called the Montgomery College. Amazing experience. There I was part of the journalist team, doing the newspapers for the school. I honestly, I got myself involved anywhere I was. And I was part of the ACES program, which was a scholars program for high school students. So I studied it in high school, and they gave me a full ride to the community college. And once I did that for about a year and a half, I applied to University of Maryland, and I got into the program that I wanted.
See, volunteering pays off.
You have a, I don't know what it is, but there's a mission that you have that you're probably not even aware of. But I think you have a mission to help young girls and young ladies and young people in general.
I do.
Inspire them. Yes, you do. So what did you do at the University of Maryland?
Oh man, what did I not do at the University of Maryland?
Interesting.
Then again, like I was so, wide-eyed, a little bit naive. Again, going to a predominantly white university, and even then, if you went down to the rabbit hole, I was in a school of agriculture, a college of agriculture, which is it's predominated by men, it's men. It's a men's world. And it's also in America, it's it's there's about less than 1% of black farmers in the United States. So you can imagine what that sector looks like. And so getting into classrooms and not seeing a lot of people who looked like me or even sounded like me, because again, I'm from the Caribbean, I'm not African American, so it was an adjustment that I had to do. But I think it also made me very determined to be in those rooms that weren't designed for me. So I joined a sorority, a professional sorority called Sigma Alpha, and it's all across the nation, and it's an agricultural professional sorority. I was like, I want to be in all things agriculture, and what's better than being in an agricultural sorority? And so I did that, and again, like being one of the few black women in that sorority. And if people don't know, a sorority is like a coalition of women, young women, at a university or institution, and they come together and they have a mission, whether it's in academics, whether it's in philanthropy, or in this case agriculture, and they do activities for the community, or they host functions. And it's a livelihood, to be honest, because after you leave college, you're still friends and you're still a family with that sorority, and it's supposed to help you with networking once you get out of college, because you don't know, especially in this field, when you apply for a job, that could be a fellow sister. And that's just another way of getting in the door, in the room, And so there's like hundreds and hundreds of sororities and fraternities out in the United States. And I chose to be in that one. And I saw it as a challenge, but I was like, you know what? I am going to be on the board of that university at my college. And I was.
Nigel, see what I told you? When she speaks, you just have to listen. You really have to listen and absorb what she's saying.
And you know what's coming across? It's almost like you almost dare yourself to enter into things that you're either not supposed to, or people say you're not supposed to.
Yes.
And you want to challenge it and say, I'm going to.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm getting from you, man.
Kind of
I love that.
Nigel, let's just see what's happening in the book. Let's see if there's any question or anything for her as we move along. I don't want to interrupt what she's saying, but it's always good to have that connection with the book. She may just have a family member on who's saying something, so you never know. So let's see, Nigel, you checking it out? This young lady is so articulate and well-spoken.
Diana saying that Diana is on from Arkansas. Yes. Good morning. Leoma Joseph says, Ivona, you look so beautiful. Was wondering if this was another host, but your unique voice tells you out. Yes. Blessed morning.
Thank you.
There she says, they're giving you applause.
Papa, me I taking itself.
Then Cornelia Lawrence Kane says, good morning. She's there in New Jersey listening. Phyllis Bertrand, good morning, following from Texas. Oh, yes, that's true, Alvin. Alvin says we've not seen Winnie Green for a little bit. Hope she's okay. So Winnie, join Winnie. Simeon George, good morning to you as well. Janitha Daisy, watching from St. Martin, good morning to you. Alvin said this is a beautiful, well-spoken, articulate, well-spoken young lady. Thanks for the JCI plug. Kisaidila, yes, she is phenomenal, great role model for young people. All right, you might have some. Let me go to the YouTube whilst you look at the book. Let me see what else is on the YouTube one.
Okay.
Yes, YouTube. Okay. Carol Shillingford says, good morning. This young lady is amazing. And then Anne-Marie Grando says, this is our former Girl Guides from Maho.
Okay.
I'm so proud of you. So I guess Anne-Marie was part of the Guides movement as well. Let's see. So yes, no questions
Nigel,
to her yet.
Okay. I can just picture her, Nigel. I can just picture her in a session with guides and even brownies as well, young people. And they're sitting and they're listening and taking this in, and she's just talking, and she's very articulate. She has jokes as well. So I can just feel that vibe. So if this is being planned, I hope I'll be invited because I really like to go to it. I just say, ne? Okay, so let's continue.
Yes, you should.
Yes, I would like to just sit and listen to her. Like I'm doing today. I'm not talking much when she's speaking. So you're asking the questions.
You just sit back.
Yeah, man. I just want to absorb this. I like this. I like this vibe.
So yes, Kiri, we're gonna get into what you're doing now in terms of what's happening. Absolutely. But so at UM, University of Maryland, you got into the agriculture, got into all the different varieties, and of course, member of the board and everything else. and the love for agriculture continued, right?
Yeah, and at that time, if you believe it or not, but I still thought I was going to be an environmental lawyer.
Even at that time.
Even at that time, I thought I was going to be an environmental lawyer. Because, coming from the Caribbean, we're told that there are a few careers you can get into. And not just the Caribbean, same thing in Africa. And I just wanted to be in that mold that was created for me. It felt comfortable. But once I got deeper and deeper into the agriculture space at the university, I mean, the staff, the team at AGNR is remarkable. They supported me with all my crazy ideas. And once I started seeing how welcoming, I had a teacher, actually, a professor, Dr. Kate Tully, and she was an agroecologist. And she was the reason I wanted to get into that college, because she was a woman in the field and she was killing it. And I was like, wow, seeing a woman doing phenomenal work. Like agroecology is the study of the ecology, so the environment, and understanding everything about the environment, and then agriculture. So it's like a combination of the environment and agriculture, and you want to sustain those two things while at the same time ensuring that we as humans, our needs are being met. But it's like finding the balance between the two. And once I started going down into her research lab and learning what she was doing in her lab, I was intrigued. I was like, this is what I want to be. I love this. Like, what? Wow. You get to travel, you get to see the world, you get to help communities, and you get to, like, essentially help people understand the importance between environment and agriculture and human interactions. And so she was really the reason why I went to my advisor at the college and I was like, listen, I know I said I wanted to do environmental science and policy, and I'm already in my junior year, but is there any way you can tweak my courses so that I can take a lot of her classes and agronomy courses and so forth? And he was so phenomenal, and he was like, yes, we can help you with that. And it happened. I switched my courses. My degree stayed the same, but I had a specialization in agroecology, and that I enjoyed those classes. I gotta tell you, we were in the field, we were working with farmers, we were in the labs, we were in lectures, and I just fell in love with it completely.
She mentioned Africa, Nigeria, and of course she got that opportunity to travel around the world. And I was really moved because I was reading up on her last night, and I was really moved by a statement that she made. She said that Africa, let me see if I can remember this clearly, Africa does not need charity. It needs change makers. This is a powerful statement, Nigel, when you consider what's happening in the world right now. It needs change makers. No charity for Africa, change makers.
It is. Yes.
What were you thinking when you said this? What was happening?
She must be either a silent or public fan of Tahori.
Yeah.
I am a public fan.
Public,
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, she's a public fan. Okay.
I am.
All right.
I am.
Beautiful. Yes.
As I say, sock salt.
Making that change in Africa and yes.
So you were there. You were on the ground.
What it takes.
Yeah. What caused you to make that statement?
Well, actually, that statement wasn't made by me. It was made by a coalition of people like me, and from an organization called Roots Africa. I was part of Roots Africa for 4 years. Roots Africa started as a student chapter at the University of Maryland College of Agriculture. It was started by Cedric Nafor, who's from Cameroon, a dear friend and colleague. We worked together for so many years with other, leaders in Uganda, Ellie, Martin, Brazira, like a whole team of us, Duff, came together from all these different, I was from the Caribbean, we have Cameroon, we have Nigeria, we have Liberia, we have Uganda, a small little team. And we came together and essentially helped Cedric build this vision that Africa doesn't need charity, it needs change makers. Let me tell you, when you're an African or a Caribbean person and you're at a school like mine, and you have a vision, and you have to go through so many, I don't want to say red tapes, but you really have to fight for what you believe in. And once you convince people that this is it, and this is what Cedric did, and he convinced me to come along too. He was like, yo, Karine, like, on a call, he was like, hey, I'm going to Uganda in 2 weeks. Do you want to come? I was like, Of course I want to come. Take me with you. And so we hopped on a plane, and that experience, that journey with Roots Africa started in Kenya actually, and went on to Uganda. And Roots Africa, to this date, have trained over 700 African agriculture students across Liberia and Uganda, and they have in return trained over 12,000 farmers, and I am not making this up. 12,000 farmers across 150 communities. We have worked night and day. I mean, when you're a small nonprofit with a small team with very limited funds, everybody wears different caps, and that was what it looked like. We were all CEO, we were all COO, we were all we were all holding caps to make a difference in these communities.
Okay, so let us get to what you're involved in, what you're doing in Dominica, how long you're here for, what can we expect from you whilst you're here?
So I'm in Dominica to do one very important thing. So I mentioned Roots Africa, but I'm also a co-founder and executive director of my own organization called Be More Ag Foundation. And Be More Ag, we're based in Baltimore City. Go Baltimore. Oh my gosh, I love Baltimore City. It is the heart of Maryland. And in Be More Ag, we're a youth-led organization that believes in young people being food system shifters. We believe in advancing agriculture education, nutrition education for young people, particularly in historically underserved communities. And that in the United States tend to look like Black and brown people, indigenous people. And so our reach for the last 7 years have been across these communities to see how can we advance urban agriculture, food nutrition, and so much more as the agriculture sector for young people, and honestly make agriculture sexy again. Like, we want young people to feel that, like how I felt when I learned about a soil scientist, when I went into agroecology, and be like, wow, this is so fascinating, and we need more of this, and we need more young people in this. And that's Be More Ag. And so we're actually in the process of launching the Catalyst program. We have one grounding program called the New Pathways, where we work with junior high students, so anywhere between the ages of 14 all the way to 24. And this program was designed to really expose young people to agriculture. We have over 15 field trips. We have over 20 partners, institutions, governments that are helping us bring this program to life. And it has, to this date, done over 20,000 hours of hands-on programming across Baltimore.
Yes. You wanna mute a little bit here, Marsha. We coming and meet you soon. But keep be on mute for now. So you are in Dominica. So are you there for team, or is just you that's here?
Well, I have a Dominica. So let me go to the Catalyst program. So the Catalyst program is a two-part immersive experience, an incubator for system-led change that's bringing young people from across the world, particularly Africa, the Caribbean, the United States, Dominica, Europe, Latin America. I mean, we're bringing together all of these young people to the island. And in partnership with Jungle Bay Dominica, Mr. Sam Raphael and his team has been exceptional in adopting this program truly and making it become a reality for our island. We have the Climate Youth Justice Act movement, which is led by Ferdinand Valman. I'm sure you guys have heard of him.
Yes.
He's a
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So believe it or not, Ferdinand was my first mentee 5 years ago. So he joined Innovate My World, which is another program here. I would love to, give a shout out to Innovate My World. But he came on to Innovate My World, and since then, Fergus and I have been, thick as thieves. And he came on board with his team. So that's my team in Dominica for the Catalyst program, the Climate Justice Movement. We have Jungle Bay, Dominica. And then my international team is the 50%, which is a global youth platform from that is supporting young people across Africa and other countries. And it's a program or a partner of the Club of Rome. And then we have Universal Greening Organization, which is from South Africa. Listen to me. We have South Africans coming to Dominica. Not one, not two, not three, but many.
Not yet.
And so it's a program that is being designed
but I'm
and created.
In the group or whatever. You're sleeping.
I'm trying to send a message though. I think one of our guests on the live is on the live. So one of our guests via Zoom should please mute your mic, and then we'll bring you all on very shortly. Okay?
yes,
but okay. So I'm still hearing her. I'm trying to send a message to Nigel.
Because we in all a conversation with that person she talking to.
Yeah, because that's unusual. You
Okay,
always
not bad.
want to.
Nigel. Please mute your mic. I'm telling you.
You should give us a whole story,
Sure.
They hear everything you say in
If it's Zoom, the host should be able to mute the person.
Yes, they should have been there. But I think they probably just did that now. The administrator just did that. So yes, I'm Karine. So you have a whole team coming through to Dominica.
Yes.
Listen, before we leave, before we end the program, I want to let that, there's so much that Dominicans do out there. There's so much that we contribute to. There's so much that we're leading. There's so much that we're part of. And oftentimes we don't know it and we don't celebrate it. So we celebrate you today, my dear.
Oh, thank you.
Celebrate you today for what you're doing, for representing 767 and for representing young people in that particular field. So, we celebrate you for that. You're doing an awesome, great job.
Thank you.
All right. So once that team comes home, man, you have a passion for agriculture.
I do.
It's not just doing it. You have a passion.
Yeah, she has a passion for it. It's in her DNA. It's like, embedded there. Yeah, it's like she breathes and sleeps agriculture.
I do. I feel that way too.
Wow. You see, Nigel?
And yes. And let me also big up all the previous and original agronomist people like Albert Panman Bellot and Joe Pierre and Athi Mate and all those who deeply involved in agriculture, all those who had the SPAT movement back then, who saw a future. You know what I mean?
They laid the foundation, the groundwork. Yes, they did a lot of work
the
to
foundation
ensure.
for that.
Yes, that's good, Nigel. Nigel, I'll give you 100% there. You really brought up a very, very, very good point. You tied this in nicely. And lest we forget, because very often we forget the people who paved the way, for
Absolutely.
where we are now.
Absolutely.
And Nigel, I really want to say hats off to you for this. I think I'll give you a medal.
A medal? Oh,
yes.
I'll take the medal.
Apart from a merit, you'll get a medal. But seriously,
I'll take the medal too.
That is so true. Yeah. That is so true.
And they still are important today in the conversation.
Yes.
And the program that we're bringing to Dominica is making sure that we do that. Like we have that intergenerational dialogue. Because it's not just, when people say youth is the future, I do not like that phrase at all. Like youth, we're all the future actually, not just youth. Yeah. And we cannot put the burden on young people. The damage that have been done by generations before us, you cannot now say, it's on you to solve all this stuff. Like, no, it's not. We have to be able to do it together because there's knowledge that, the elders have and people older than us have that we don't yet have. And there's knowledge that we have that they don't. And so we need to be able to have these conversations when we're talking about food security, climate change, digital equity. We need to have these conversations. And this is what the program is bringing. It's bringing this conversation. We have two parts of the program, like I said. There's the fellowship program that goes on for 6 months, starting in October. It's virtual, and we invite, these change makers that's part of our program to investigate, to gather information, to basically do human resource mapping. If you're in Africa and you're in Dominica, how can you support each other? right? We want to have these conversations. We want to have these opportunities for us to build that bridge and not wait for somebody else to do it for us. Because, yeah, we're underfunded and we're under-resourced and we're often tokenized as young people, but we also have to make changes ourselves. We have to organize ourselves, because if I alone go to the United Nations, which I have, yeah, they will listen to me and they'll praise me and they'll give me my flowers or whatever, but nothing goes on afterwards. Nothing else, the next step doesn't happen. But if I go to the United Nations with 50 other people behind me, guess what? Somebody's going to listen. Somebody's going to bring us into a meeting. We have to organize ourselves as young people. And that's what the retreat is bringing to Dominica. We're bringing these global grassroots business advocates, leaders of frontline leaders of today. We're bringing them into the conversation and we're saying what's next. But we're also saying let's co-create, and we're also saying let's cool reflect. Let's take a moment, let's pause, see where we are, how we move forward. And that's why I'm so excited to be having this at Jungle Bay, Dominica, because I don't know if you all been to Jungle Bay, but I mean, it is absolutely...
It lends itself to something like this.
Yes!
Yes.
It just fits. It just fits what we want to do, right? Like, I'm learning over 100 different species of fruit trees on the property, and you're walking around and you've seen the breadfruit, and you've seen the soursop and the guava and the pomegranate and this and that. And I'm just so excited for people to come to Dominica who've never been in the Caribbean region, ever, to come to Dominica and see Dominica as the example of a living classroom for agriculture, climate resilience. And, you know, we have the geothermal plant that's happening on the island. We have so many activities that are brewing. And I think we need to have Dominica be on the forefront of these activities.
And that's a young person saying this, Nigel. She's very young still, So just imagine this. By the way, I
feel it, man.
Very young, yes.
I'm feeling you. Any plans wise you're there, as we kind of wind up, but any plans wise you're here to meet with the agricultural officials, whether it's the Minister of Agriculture, whether it's those who are senior in the agricultural field, any plans of that? Are they going to be part of that activity?
Well, let me tell you, I had a meeting with Honorable Kozia Frederick, the Minister of Environment, and he's fully on board. And so I'm putting it out there now because it's official. He's fully on board. And that's important to us because as part of the retreat, we're talking about indigenous knowledge. The Kalinago people are the natives of this island. They were the first people of this island, and we have to respect that, and we have to acknowledge that. And so when we're bringing people from different cultures, they also have their native people, and they also respect their native people. And the Kalinago being on the forefront of our knowledge sharing of Dominica for this retreat is so important. So I just want to say thank you to the Minister of Environment for, listening, taking the time out of his busy schedule to put this as a priority, and it's really exciting. But as to the Minister of Agriculture and everybody, I say send me the invitation. I mean, I am ready to meet with anyone on the island that is interested in being a part of this, It's so important because I don't want to carry this on my own. This isn't for me, This is for Dominica. This is for the Caribbean. This is for young people. It's not about me. And so if you are interested in being a part of this, I say reach out to me. I'm sure I can give my information at some point on the show, but definitely reach out to me.
Go ahead and give your information.
Okay.
No. In fact, as she's saying that, I have a message. My nephew wants to do agriculture ecology. He's in Martinique. How can we contact this young lady so full of energy? So yes, go ahead with this information.
So, you can reach out to us numerous ways. We have our website, www.bmoreag.org. Be More Ag, like bemoreagriculture.org. I'm not going to put my information out there, but one of our contacts is info at bmoreag.org. If you reach out to that, someone on our team will direct you to me. If you just say, hey, I heard you on the radio, whatever it is, they'll direct you to me. But that is our contact information. We also have Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, again at Be More Ag Foundation. If you're on YouTube, you can see how it's spelled, BMOREAG Foundation. You can find us on, like I said, on all the social media platforms. And for me, you can find me on Instagram and LinkedIn as well. My name is KERRIN. Last name MASSARUEH. You can find me on any of these platforms as well.
Okay.
Which brings us to the question I've been about to wind up. Someone asked earlier, who are your parents in Dominica?
Oh, yes.
You know Dominicans fast.
Yeah, we should have said this earlier.
Dominicans don't know my business.
Yeah, you know Dominicans already. You know.
Like I said,
so
I was raised.
That, and they also asked as well, are you going to be meeting with any of the greenhouse farmers? So those are the two questions they asked earlier. So who are your parents?
So, like I said, I was raised by a village, and so my parents are everyone in those villages.
Beautiful.
And my parents are Hayat Paquette and Sama Musarowe. They both reside in the U.S. My mom is Dominican. She's as well from Maho. So the Paquette family, the Williams family, Miranda Williams up in Maho. You go in Maho, you say, who's Karine? Somebody's gonna tell you. They're gonna tell you my story. That's for another time.
Okay. Interesting.
And of course, your dad is?
My dad is Palestinian American. Free Palestine while I'm at it. My dad is Palestinian American, and my mom is from Dominica.
Okay.
Beautiful,
nice.
Beautiful. And the second question they had as a wind-up was what's your take on greenhouse farmers and they being part of what you're doing?
I think we welcome farmers in the conversation for sure, 100%. This summer, actually, and I want to put this plug in real quick, the Innovate My World, which is an organization led by Dominican diaspora women, my mom included. And for the last 7 years, I have been coming to Dominica, either virtual or in person, to host these agriculture innovation camps. And, we are on our second year in Casa Bruce, and we've partnered with Banis Farms. So we've partnered with Banis Farms. We did a camp last year. It's free for all young people in high school in that part on the East Coast. Please, we have free food, free transportation. Everything is included. Just show up. We've done this like year and year again. And every year we have a lot of fun. So if you want to know more information about how to register, just go to innovatemyworld.org. You can find all the information out there, or even on our social media, or even on my social media, because it's all connected to me. But we're going to be hosting the camp in July, and the dates are escaping me right now. But it's going to be in July. Once you get on our website, please go and register your kids. It's an awesome camp, and I'm cool, so I'll be the one doing the camp. But for the farmers in the greenhouse, absolutely yes. I've worked with Mr. Jerry Carbon up in Portsmouth, Capuchin area. I have been, really trying to learn about what is going on the island. I'm a greenhouse farmer, particularly in indoor agriculture, hydroponics, vertical farming. I've been trained. I specialize in it. I've built and created greenhouses in Baltimore. And so definitely I would love to sit with farmers and cooperatives, any of the women farmers that are on the island, please. I would love to connect with you.
Nigel.
Yeah.
I tell
Yes.
you. I mean, we had our plans for our guests for this Saturday, but when I spoke to her, I said no, we had to put her on. We had to put up somebody else and put her on.
It's a great choice.
You understand?
Great choice to have her there.
Yes. Thank you for having me.
And
for
someone
sure.
just quickly mentioned that you should make sure you connect to the Dominica Community High School because agriculture is one of the main subject areas over there.
And I gave her a list of people she could call as well when we met.
Yes,
in the week.
Wonderful. I'm happy you did that. Bruni as well.
Agriculture.
Alvin Bruni of Bruni Farms. Wonderful guy to connect with. He went to the Dominica Grammar School, one of the schools that you know of.
Like the best school.
He's a great guy to connect with. Yes.
Come on,
so many others.
Yes,
so many others you can connect with. But listen, Karine, listen, man, it was not only just a pleasure, but I think it was wonderful in terms of the connection and the vibes you were able to share.
I have a feeling we'll connect with her again, though.
Yes, absolutely.
I have a strong feeling.
I hope so.
I have a very strong feeling.
I can feel this in my bones.
Yes.
I just want to say, thank you for having me on here. Like it's been so much fun, and the retreat coming in November 15th to the 22nd in Dominica is gonna be so much fun. And so we're out there looking for sponsors. We're looking for people on the island that want to be a part of this, in whether it's collaboration or you have a small business and you want your products to be a part of it. If any of the big dogs on the island and you're like love this vibes and you want to put your money where your mouth is, as they say. Come join us, come be a part of it. It's community. So thank you for having me on the show and allowing me to tell my story, to talk about the retreat, talk about the people who've molded me and created me. And you guys are now a part of that story. So thank you so much.
Nigel, I just love this girl, She likes to talk. That's why I like about her. I like people that like to talk. Seriously. I don't know if it's because sometimes I like to talk too much.
Like to talk and like to
yeah, man. But she has a vibe. Not just like to talk, She can speak well, and she has a vibe, man. That's it. Thank you so much, my dear. I am happy that we made this connection. We can do it again wherever you are.
No,
we can make a connection if you're okay.
Thank you
we
so
have
much.
To, yes, we have to.
Thank you so much.
We have to do it again, especially closer to your retreat time of just, around that area, or maybe before the camp that you're having in July. But we definitely have to connect again because you have more to tell.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Nigel, keep talking. Let me see if I can have a
picture perfect
moment with her, and then I'll take a piece of my breadfruit and some codfish.
That's what you have in that bowl now. Oh my God.
Vibes. Okay. All right. All the best, man. Nigel, keep talking.
Taking me baby, but it's okay, Well, it was a pleasure connecting with you, man. My dear, continued blessings and good luck, and not just good luck, but all the best in what you're doing, not just for yourself, but for Dominica, for the Caribbean, for Africa, and everything else. It's a pleasure connecting with you. We're getting ready for part 2, by the way. Getting ready for part 2 and connecting the dots. We should be speaking to some folks from the Laplaine reunion, find out about their own story. We know we have the Wesley reunion, we have the Cassie Bruce reunion. Monjon, all you having a reunion, everybody having a reunion. Elias, all you having a reunion, Monjon, Rivier Syric. All right, that too. So it looks like reunions are becoming part of the whole aspect of Dominica and things that's happening in Dominica. So we have different reunions taking place, each of the villages doing their own thing, and which is good because it brings back people, to their different communities and ensures that they're part of what's going on. Some of them have not been there for a while. Some of them live there, so it allows them to reconnect. So we will find out from the Laplaine reunion, committee or whatever it is that they call themselves, when this event is going to take place, what it's about, what's the theme, all the rest of it. So let me say a very special good morning to all the Laplaine people who've always been connecting with us all the time. So it's going to be Laplaine moment in a little bit. Cassie Bruce reunion, that's coming up as well. We know Cassie Bruce is having their reunion. So, my dear friend Lauren Ballis Roberts and Tony Drygo and all the others that we had last week for the Cassie Bruce reunion. We hope that plans are continuing to go well for that. And we know we have the St. Andrews High School reunion. That's coming up as well. So wish you guys all the best in all the different reunions. In case you're just joining, this is DBS Connecting the Dots. We do this every Saturday from 9 to 11. Be part of the CTD Family Train. Join us every Saturday. Leoma Josie, if I understand what you're saying. Leoma say, let me see what she said. She had said it earlier, Leoma says, let's see. As a woman of the soil, if I had this opportunity, I would have been much further. I don't even believe that I would be that I would be that profession. I love the soil. So yes, thanks, Leoma. Leoma also says, Ivan, you and Nigel, if you're very interesting program on a Saturday, you two always take half of my morning connecting to your dots. Preventing me from doing my work and my chores.
We take half of your morning.
Such a great program. Keep up the good work.
Well, we take half of our morning. We normally take it.
Yes,
but I just took 2 minutes to eat something. But
she loves that.
Nigel, I just took 2 minutes to eat something. Did you hear that?
You don't say I pass.
Let me see if there's oil on my mouth. I did not even check myself. But who does that?
Boy, who does that? Your bread and your codfish and everything, and you
that was good. That was good. Okay. So let's bring them on time, Niger, before they have to.
Before they leave.
So yes, before yes.
Roslyn said McLean, good morning to you too. Sharon Dorival, good morning. Education Experience, love the vibes. Alvin Thomas is great for spats. Of course, Alicia Griffith always on.
Oh yeah.
Sandra Norris, good morning.
Oh yeah, Sandra is always on as well.
Talking about the reunions, and we have St. Andrews.
Nigel, quickly though. As we go on with Laplaine, we did not have a Dominica corner. My third man. Let's run a Dominica corner quickly. No, it's on Laplaine, so they won't mind.
Okay.
Quickly, where's Laplaine located? I mean, come on, Nigel.
We're located in Dominica.
Yes, that's easy peasy lemon squeezy. Where's Laplaine located?
Dominica.
We are in Dominica. Is Laplaine located? We're in that sound right?
Laplaine is like in the, I guess, the southeast.
Okay. In which parish? In which parish?
In which parish?
Yes.
Laplaine is in the. Let me ask one of the guests.
By the way, guests, you can put on your cameras already, you know, so we can be ready to roll.
One of the guests. In which parish is Laplaine located?
In which parish?
The first person that put on your camera. No, I go into Marsha. You know why? Because Marsha have been talking the whole morning there.
Marsha,
telling people how every time I call you, I don't get you, whatever. Marsha, what parish is Laplaine in?
St. Patrick's.
St. Patrick's.
Oh, okay, St. Right. Patrick. Okay. Naturally, next one. Next one, but you're getting help here. Next one. Name 4 places in Laplaine. You know, like some communities, large communities, little hamlets.
You have Casgori. That's all I know. You have Casgori.
I used to go to Laplaine a lot before, because back in the day. Corsol, something like that.
I mean, I used to be in Laplaine as a cultural officer too.
Oh yes, it's true. Yes, Corsol is Corsol or something like that, Marsha.
Yes, you have Corsol.
You have Plaisance.
Casgori.
Okay, Casgori, yes.
Yeah, I see that one.
Yes, Plaisance. Is Plaisance?
Yeah, Plaisance, yes. And you have Ghetto in the Plaisance.
Okay. Interesting.
Okay.
You have Balizier.
Oh, Balizier. Yes, Balizier.
Yes.
Okay, next question. Who is teacher Agnes? Nigel, answer that. Who is teacher Agnes? And if you don't know that, Nigel, I live in the program.
Teacher in Laplaine.
Yeah, but who is she? What is she well known for?
Agnes Etienne. Is it Etienne?
No way.
Remember,
Agnes Lestrade.
Lestrade.
Yes.
Okay.
And what do you know about Agnes Lestrade?
Yes.
She was a preschool teacher.
Yes.
She's still around, She's like a queen.
Everybody call her teacher Agnes anyway. But I mean,
she's the mother of Element, Eddie Beaupierre.
But I was coming to that one. Okay. But early, how you call it? Early childhood education. And one of the pillars.
Oh yes, one of the pillars, I tell you.
One of the pillars of that. Education.
Her memory is very sharp, and I call her Mama. Yes. Very lovely lady. Okay, next question. One more. Name the waterfall in Laplaine. Is it or I don't know if there are more than Okay, name the waterfall in Laplaine.
There are probably others. But of course,
I asked that question, but I'm not sure. Okay, so it's really in Laplaine, right? Because I asked that question.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Sari.
Name.
I remember. And as I say, Sari. Let me say good morning to Sari as well, the daughter of we had her on the program. Oh my gosh! How can I forget?
I know. It's Finn.
It's slipping me by now, but of course, I know he's gonna call me after and tell me you forget my name.
Sorry,
yes, John Finn.
But I said Finn.
Yes,
anyway,
my dear friend John Finn. Good morning to you. Right. Yes, but Sari and his other daughter. We had them on the program at one point.
Yes. Okay. One more question. Name a river, or at least 2 rivers in Laplaine.
2 rivers in Laplaine, the Laplaine River and the river in Laplaine.
I like that. I think the Taberi is Taberi or Taberi. How you say it, Marsha?
Taberi.
Okay. And Laplaine River, there's a Laplaine River. I guess every community just say.
But every community is just call it Laplaine River.
Laron.
Okay, Laron River. Okay. One more question, Nigel. Quickly, name a DBS staff member who hails from Laplaine. I mean, come on.
I'm going to ask them that, not me. Of course, I know that.
I asked you a question.
There's Juliana Sampson.
Yes, very good. Who's saying that? Who's saying that? I know we have two gentlemen.
Yes. Who answered the question?
Who answered the question?
I'm not sure.
Hi, good morning.
Morning.
Dexter Newton, good morning.
Okay, Dexter.
Good morning, Nigel.
But I'm not seeing. Nigel, I'm not.
Of course I remember you. But they have to know who answered the question. So yes, so that was Dexter, of course.
Okay. So I'm not seeing Dexter. Let me see if I can. Okay, anyway, so Niger, we're going to start. We don't have that much time, and we want all the best.
All right? They were saying Victoria Falls. The Victoria Falls in Laplaine, then?
It's
Dailies. Victoria is in the... Yes, of course.
Sorry is in Laplaine.
But of course, you see, they wanted... So,
Balizé. Sorry is in Balizé, Niger. Balizé.
Yes, sorry is in Balizé. Okay, right. Balizé, Laplaine, right, of course. Yes, Victoria Falls, no. Victoria Falls in Dailies. You don't know Laplaine better than me. And then somebody say Fresh Island.
Fresh Island?
Yes.
Island is in Laplaine too?
Yes.
Okay, good morning to you, Mavis Stedman Seja. Okay, Laplaine people take over, so that's okay.
So everybody's, your cameras are on, right? I'm just trying to ensure that we see you clearly.
Except somebody's camera that's not on. It says somebody's iPhone. Nadia, is it Nadia? Is it Nadia that's there? Somebody's... let's see. I think it's Nadia's iPhone. Okay, yes. As I call her name, she put a camera on. Yes, all cameras are on. We can see all the different backgrounds and the different faces. So it means we're ready to connect with Laplaine. So before we find out about the reunion, very quickly, we'll start off with Dexter because he was talking a while ago. So Dexter, good morning. Appreciate to see you again, man. Nice connecting once more. What part of Laplaine are you from?
Good morning, Nigel. I'm from Balizé, right at the base of the Sari Falls there. I do remember you from back in the grammar school days. So good morning to all the listeners of BBS and Connecting the Dots. Good morning.
I did not hear that clearly, because I was on a call there. We said that again. I would hear grammar school.
You didn't hear, but
no, I heard grammar school, man.
We hear that. We hear that part already.
But did you mention the Dominica Grammar School? I just want some clarification. You mentioned the Dominica Grammar School, right?
We'll jack on it.
Okay.
Yeah, you mentioned Dominica. Okay, yes, you mentioned Dominica Grammar School. Yes. That's okay. That's okay.
I have to make sure when I said good morning to you.
Yes, good morning.
Yes. Good morning to you. Okay, we don't have to say grammar school again. We say it already. Okay. And then we have below Dexter, we have Nadia. Is it Nadia?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Good morning to you, my dear. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks.
You're doing good. And what part of Laplaine are you from?
I am from Kosol in Kazagori.
Okay.
Kosol in Kazagori. Okay. All right. So that is Nadia. We'll find out a little bit more about Nadia a little bit because we're trying to run through so we can get about the reunion. And Masha, that we heard you earlier this morning. Good morning to you. What part of Laplaine you from?
Good morning. I apologize. I didn't realize we were on.
That's okay. That's all right.
That's okay.
We hear your best friend.
I know. Me, I registered that there.
We hear your story. Yes, we do.
I am from the ghettos in Plazas.
From the ghettos in Plazas. Okay. So the reason I'm asking you because we have a question for everybody listening to Connecting the Dots after. They're going to tell us all the different places, where you're from, because they can win a prize.
Yeah.
Prize is sponsored by Ebola.
Yeah.
Then we have next we have Mr. Joseph. How you do, sir?
Good. Nigel. I know your question is where am I from?
Yes, what part of Laplaine you from?
Balizé, which is the capital.
Balizé is the capital.
Yeah, you know that.
I did not know that. I thought it was Kazagori.
If you really want to know where is the capital, ask Dexter. He'll tell you.
Dexter, where is the capital?
Dexter is the capital.
Dexter probably from Balizé too.
Numero uno. I mean, that's where the Sari Falls is. So we don't have much of a dispute there.
Okay.
That's the only, that's the only part in Laplaine that's internationally recognized.
Okay. So Nadia and
problems.
Yeah, have no argument with that.
Yes, well, you can go ahead.
We just ignoring them.
I like that. That's it. Hey, man.
That is not fact. That is their fact.
Ignore themselves.
Okay. All right. So tell us though. I mean, Dexter, what was it like growing up in Laplaine before? What was the vibes like in Laplaine?
Well, Nigel, this is a very good question, and I would say what we're trying to capture with Vacation 2025 is the sort of nostalgia that we all experienced growing up in Laplaine. Laplaine was a place, it's very, very community focused, as most of you would know if you know people from Laplaine. We are very community focused, therefore we're very family focused. And growing up in Laplaine, everybody looked out for each other, and that's probably my biggest memory. Just having the rivers on either end of the community. You mentioned Taberi River, you mentioned Laron River, we have Scyther River, and that's what folks did. Growing up in the countryside, and it was just lush, a lot of food, a lot of family, a lot of fun.
Wow, I love this nostalgia.
I can feel the vibes there in terms of what could have been happening in Run by the River and trees. Was it the same thing for you, Marsha?
Oh yes, and it's just when Dexter said just being part of a community, and one of the themes of our vacation is the community that raised us. And it's because that's so true. We were all raised by a community of, people that cared about us. Sometimes we didn't appreciate it because they would tell our parents when they see us doing. I can never forget, I followed fashion and went and jumped off the bridge in Sari. Before I even reached home, my mother had known about it, So it's that spirit of, being not only raised by your parents and your aunts, your uncles, but also by a community.
Yes,
I'm looking at Marsha, Nigel, and she speaks with a smile. Not a large smile, but she just speaks with a smile. It's like just a natural smile that just comes out while she's speaking. I'm not even sure if she realizes that she has this smile even while she speaks. So I just have to say this. Okay. Smiley.
Yes. I don't know your family in Laplaine.
But Nigel, please, Nigel, I used to be in Laplaine, Nigel. I mean, come on.
That is what I'm saying.
Teacher Agnes and Tidu, and the late Tidu, and so many other people, Nigel. So I know about Jacqueline and Letitia and Missy and Colin and Eddie and Eddie Bopier, of course, the children of come on, Nigel. Who does that?
Okay.
That's the Laplaine, but of course I'm Laplaine people.
Okay.
Man.
Are you Laplaine people? Last 6 years, those people.
I was a passport too. I was going everywhere, back in the day.
Everywhere. What about you, Nadia? What was it like growing up for you in Laplaine? What was the vibes like? You're on mute. You're on mute, Nadia.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tell us about the school days, Nadia.
Sorry about that.
Yes.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Growing up in Laplaine was a wonderful experience. I don't think I would have wanted to be raised any other village in Dominica. My dad is from Casgary. My mom is from Balize. According to Dexter and Elwin, the number one, the capital.
Girl, beat your chest,
it was a wonderful experience growing up in Laplaine. I would not have changed anything about it.
Wow,
nice.
Nigel, and I'm listening to them. I think there's one more, right? But I'm just saying, I'm listening to them, Nigel.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, before he comes on, I'm listening to them and just saying, just imagine you're in the diaspora. And you get that nostalgic feeling, and it's always there, in fact. And while technology has brought us closer, nothing beats a connection where you can go on a river lime, or cook a broth, pour one pot, tell stories on the tree, vibes like that. So that's what I'm getting from this.
Yes, that's the feel I'm getting to.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, Elwin, you'd probably say this, you'd probably agree in terms of what it was like growing up in Laplaine for you, right?
But although I left Laplaine at a young age, but it was a thing that I always go back. Anytime I get the chance on holidays when I was going to school, because I live in St. Croix. But it was Laplaine. I mean, like Nadia said, I wouldn't want any other village to raise me than Laplaine. I mean, Laplaine is my heart. Sometimes you stand in Laplaine, your foot is resting on Laplaine, but Laplaine is right there for me, right in my heart.
Nice.
It's not just standing on the place, but you have to have that love for Laplaine. And the people and them, man, no other people but Laplaine, seriously.
Wow.
Nice. I'm guessing that it's that love for Laplaine and that nostalgia and that feeling, that vibes that cause you guys to want to decide to do this reunion vacation. Well, first of all, what is it called? I know it's a reunion, but you have
Vacation.
Your own theme for it. It's called Vacation what?
Vacation 2025.
Vacation 2025. Yes.
And Nigel, we've been doing it, and Ivona, we've been doing this for 9 years, and we wanted to stay as vacation because union, you have more people coming and they're not, it's just for the village. But when you say a vacation, you pack your bags, you pack your bathing suits, and we are inviting everybody from every place in Dominica to join us. And it's like a vacation. Get your shoes off, get your clothes off, and you enjoy the river, you enjoy all the fruits, the coconut water, the shin, and all this type of thing, what we have to give. And that is what we want it to be.
Okay, Nigel, that's interesting.
And we're stressing on that.
Okay, that's interesting because, a vacation, an event like this can be crucial, especially for those abroad, who may feel disconnected from their roots somehow. So vacation it is, Nigel, not reunion.
Yes, vacation it is. Pack your bags and let's go.
Yes.
Let's go on a vacation.
On a vacation, yeah, man.
Yes. Nadia, is this all the different things that's going to be happening behind you? I see you have a big thing 2025 and all the rest of the stuff.
Oh, Nigel, I hope you looked
at
it.
That's all our activities for the 11 days we will be down there from the first to the last day.
Okay, so Elwin is in St. Croix. Where are you?
I'm in Louisiana.
Hey, boy, it's Louisiana. Yes, you see, we connect throughout the whole place, the whole world.
Yes, you do.
Yes. Do you listen to Connecting the Dots on the Saturday?
Yes, sir.
All right.
It's a good thing you answer that because it's problems.
So my brother-in-law would not let me have it any other way.
Okay. Wonderful. So brother-in-law, thank you.
And that's Mr. Sejel, Bevin Sejel.
Yes, he's on the live just telling us things. He's saying so many different things.
Well, I suspect a lot of Laplaine people on the live, and Nigel. Let's check it out now.
Laplaine is the only village where we religiously go to the river to cook food. One pot. It goes from generation to generation.
Yes, that's true.
That's him.
Yes. So we'll get a rundown just now in terms of what's happening for the reunion.
But Nigel, we're saying this, and I'm looking at the live as well. But there's an answer to a question we would have asked earlier in the Dominica corner. So I'm guessing some more names.
Okay.
Balizier, of course, we said that there's a high street, there's Plaisance. I said, this acre, that's how it's pronounced?
Dizac.
Oh, Dizac. Okay, so I guess there was just a typo. On Fresh Island, Ghetto, Felicité, Casgori, Bois Blanc.
Blanc, yes, that's in Casgary.
Okay, La Ronde and La Franchette.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. Nigel, you see people on the live giving us the answers. Yeah, that person should win a prize.
One thing that we found out. It's like when we had Cassie Bruce, and we will find out all the different places in Cassie Bruce that we don't know
the last
about.
Names and the popular last names,
and then Wesley and now Laplaine, all the different places. It's amazing how our villages. Within the village, there's so many different names for places within that village itself, And
another thing, Nigel, I should have asked on the, is like popular last names in Laplaine. But go for your points, we'll come back to that.
Yeah, it ties in with actually that same thing about the last names and the younger generation. Do you guys feel like the young people in Laplaine know about those name places and some of the popular last names that have contributed to Laplaine?
I would say, let me answer that. I think I would say so, but what we have, the little gap that we have is the Laplaine people, because of so many people that have left Laplaine and have migrated to other places. A lot of the young children, the young people that are growing up, the young generation, they have lost that chain of family. They don't know who they're related to and all this type of thing. And I think that is maybe one of the faults of maybe their parents and all this type of thing, not telling them who their families and all this type of thing. And it's so different than how we raised, Everybody knew who family was, because, Nigel, let me tell you something, right? I'm not going to call any name, but I like to say cousin this and cousin that, and some of them people on there, I'm not going to call any name. They always tell me, Elwin, everybody's your family. Everybody's your cousin. Everybody's that, So, and they are, all four of them in here are my relatives, So, that's how it is. That's how Laplaine is. Laplaine is bound together. It's chained. It's like a link. Everybody in Laplaine are family, man.
Let's look at the popular last names as well. Like I know Lestrade is one. Let us look at some of the others. Popular
Williams.
last name. Okay. I know you're in your Williams.
Joseph probably.
Joseph.
Okay.
I'm probably not the best person to answer that, but that's what comes to mind. We have quite a few of the French last names as well, which speaks to our history. I mean, I'm not a historian, but we know that the folks who fled Martinique after the uprising in that country, in France, settled in Cassegory and Laron, and we have a lot of the last names that come from that
yes,
area.
yes. Even Laron itself, is one of the names, and Etienne, and of course, all those have some kind of French connection
And
as
the
well.
Itos as
Definitely.
well.
So,
You have the Itos.
Bruni.
the Brunies,
Bruni,
from the
Bruni is
Laplaine,
one,
yes,
yes.
Yes, and somebody mentioned Prosper.
Oh yeah.
Helena Henderson says Prosper. Merlin Alexander says Bertrands.
Okay.
Yes.
Mildred Jules also says Prosper as well. Coffees, a popular name
Boupiers
there,
as
the
well.
Coffees.
Mm-hmm.
Serja. Yes, the Serja.
Yes.
Popular there. Jules, so we have a lot of those popular last names, and as Elwin mentioned, they probably all connected somewhere, somehow, which is good. So reunion coming up, vacation. We're gonna call it vacation, Laplaine reunion. Now they have a whole program behind it there of what's taking place. So you're gonna be leaving. Oh, you're gonna be leaving Louisiana and come all the way down to Laplaine?
Every other year, and this one is no exception.
Oh, okay, all right. When let me ask you guys though, those of you who don't live in Laplaine, Marsha, you live in Laplaine, so I'm gonna ask you. But those of you, Marsha is like, who tell you I'm living in Laplaine? But those of you who do not live in Laplaine, what it feels like before we get to the reunion, what does it feel like being out of Laplaine, residing outside of Laplaine, most of you residing in the US? Do you get the feeling sometimes that you just sit back and just think of Laplaine and what it was like, and get that kind of how they call it, kind of a go
Nostalgia, go well.
Yes.
Nigel, I am in St. Croix actually.
Oh, you're in St. Croix now? Okay, sorry. Okay, so you're outside of Laplaine too. So what's it feeling like? I mean,
yes, especially when it's in the summertime and it's hot and it's sticky. And you just say, boy, I wish I could just go in the river right now.
Take a duck.
And sometimes, it's like that. You read something from James Bevan Saint Jean about, just going by the river to cook. And, that sometimes you just miss it. Or, you hungry and your neighbor, if you could have called so-and-so and say, oh, you cook now? It's just that. So those kind of things you just really sometimes really just miss, and you get a little go up well for.
Yes. I know that feeling. Same thing happens to you, right, Nadia?
Yes, sir. The food and the river. I mean, my family home is probably a 3-minute walk to Sari River, and maybe another 8 minutes to Tabby River. So every summer, every weekend,
that's like your backyard.
I was telling a friend of mine growing up, my mom would not always allow us to go in the river every day. So I would take clean clothes.
Tell us.
And said I was going to wash just that I could go back in the river again.
You would take clean clothes to go to the river to wash?
Yes. Because my mom, if we're going to the river the Friday, she was like, oh, you were in the river yesterday, or you were there this morning. So I'd go take my clean clothes, put it in my basket, and say I'm going to wash. When I get there, just wet it and put it back.
Wow.
Hey,
those days, I tell you, those days.
But I love water and just being so close to the river. Even if you're in the States, you have pools and it's just not, it's not the same. It's not the same at all.
It's not the same water. Different kind of water.
Yes, sir.
Yes. I feel the same thing. The different kind of.
It's a whole different vibe.
Even when it's rain, it's not the same rain.
It's different. It's different. Yeah. I also wanted to ask Nigel, as she says, she's in you're in St. Croix. Is it you that's in St. Croix or Marshall?
No, Marshall's
in St. Croix.
Yes, in Louisiana.
Okay, so I just wanted to find out because we have had several people from various communities talk about the reunion. Of course, you have a vacation, and just recently we had Castle Bruce. And they were saying that there's a high concentration of people from Castle Bruce in St. Croix, in Houston, and places like that. So I wanted to find out from you in Laplaine, in reference to that high concentration of people from Laplaine, where can you find them outside of Dominica, of course, in any state or country?
New Jersey. I would say New Jersey. A lot of Laplaine people are in areas like New Jersey, New York, because those that's what comes to mind for me.
Okay.
It would be St. Croix, St. Thomas.
Okay.
Yeah. So
what the men
St. Thomas,
saying?
New
Same
Jersey,
thing. You
New York.
agree, men, gentlemen?
Yes. Elvin Dexter.
I think there are a lot of Laplaine people in Houston, in Texas.
Okay.
A lot of people from Laplaine in Houston. Like Marsha said, New Jersey. A lot of people in New York too. I mean, yeah, a lot of people in New York.
Obviously they're all over, but I was just trying to get, a sense of, where there's a high concentration of people from Laplaine.
Yes. Of course, those on the book are saying James Bonifacio is saying New Jersey, Algae Estrado, New York, New Jersey.
Okay.
Marver is saying Maryland, Boston. So it looks like a lot of the New Jersey, New York area seem to be the focus there.
Talking about the book,
good morning to you, Jules Joseph. Juliet, good morning to you, my dear. Hope everything is going well. Laplaine people,
Nigel, I'm also learning.
Joseph Clan.
I'm also learning on the live from Alvin Thomas. He says Ted Daly's mother is from Laplaine. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Ted
of course.
Daly.
Yes, and Ted, of course, in St. Croix. Good morning to you, Ted.
Yes,
the bosom body himself. Good morning, man. So that's the Laplaine connection, Laplaine reunion. They ask you where in the States, you telling me England. Don't worry, I'm just having fun. Okay, my dear Simon. Jean Matthews also says there are a lot of people in England. Phyllis Butron say I agree. All right, so let's get to the vacation and the reunion, because now they have like 15 different stickers behind our
Nigel, I was doing my research last night and I saw that flyer and I was like, what? Nigel, the amount of activities. Nigel, we need to go to one. We need to go to at least one.
Well, they haven't invited us, so until they invite us, we're not going.
We formally inviting you to all.
Thank you.
Every single one of them.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
All right.
But Nigel, you in Dominicana?
No, but Nigel's a passport too. Nigel everywhere. He's a passport too. Nigel, yeah. Invite him, you'll see. He just waiting for an invite.
Yes. Whoosh. But so yes, Nadia, because you're the one that have the speaker there, but I'm just pretty sure everybody's going to chime in there in terms of the activities. When does it officially start?
All right, vacation. Laplaine Vacation 2025 starts July 25th through August 4th.
July 25th to August 4th. Beautiful. And of course, we can get into some of the activities. What's the main thing happening is there like an official opening kind of a thing, or is there official welcome? What's going on? Who's going to tell us about that?
Marcia, you want to take that one?
Yeah, we definitely on the first day, Friday the 25th, we will be having our meet and greet, which is kind of like the official welcome where we're gathering to just welcome everybody to Laplaine, that's at Athens, and we're just going to just hang out, hugs, share hugs, kisses, who we haven't seen for 10 years, 20 years, 50 years. Some people we don't recognize, and they have to tell us who their mother is, who their father is, who their cousin is. So that's on the first day when we do the meet and greet.
All right. Before we get to the next activity, I want to Dominica corner. There's another DBS staff who used to be who's from Laplaine. She used to do a Creole program sometime as well.
Velma? No?
Yay!
Velma Paul.
You good. Velma Paul. Yes. You good.
Velma Paul.
Devin just reminded me, that's why. Yes, my dear friend Velma Paul, good morning to you as well. Yes, Velma. So that's the meet and greets on the 25th. You meet everybody, you greet them and so on. Where's that taking place though? Dexter or Elwin, any one of you guys, I don't know, or whoever's going to answer is fine.
Yeah, I'll jump in, Nigel. I do apologize. I'm having a bit of challenge with my connection, so I'm turning off my video.
Your camera. Okay. So we wouldn't see we wouldn't see your handsome face.
No, you wouldn't see my handsome face, but I'll try to turn it on a bit. But so the meet and greet.
I thought I'm the Dominica Grammar School students. There's that problem. Technical problem.
Anyway.
If I took Kibel calls about Nigel, we just have to just accept the fact of life. But you know the meet and greet, we're gonna have it by Aton, and Marsha just mentioned that. But you know this, we the reason that we are calling this a vacation and stressing that it's a vacation and not necessarily a reunion is that we want folks to just be free. You know, we're not gonna be doing no long talking, no big speech, nothing like that. You know, just come. Amasha mentioned it. The last time we had this in 2022, the meet and greet was really a pivotal time because you know you haven't seen folks in many years, and they come and they greet them. You greet, and so that's what is going to be happening on the first night at Atons, and it's really something that I'm looking forward to. The second day we have in the market day and the Good Fest and all that stuff, but we could get into it. But the meet and greet I think is really something that most of us cherished the last time we had this in 2022, and I'm really looking forward to it in 2025.
Nice. Yes, you see all the folks that you haven't seen for quite a while, you know.
Get all the stories. Yeah.
You hear all the stories. Yes. I know. Yes. So Nadia, what's next after that?
On the 26th, we have the market day, and this is dear to Masha's heart, so I will let her take that one.
Lapo Cabrit is all I can say.
Yes. So the market day is just an opportunity, and you know we kind of put it on the calendar the very next day because you know everybody coming down from overseas, they haven't eaten the champagne, they haven't drink a nice coconut, they haven't they want to get their lettuce, their tomatoes, their ground provision. So we want to give the farmers, the fishermen, the people that does kill cow, kill goat, whatever, we want to give them an opportunity on that first day when people have money. The US still you know this US still high in their hands. Yes. So they can come and buy. So we're inviting all the farmers, and we're asking them we're making it a little competitive because we want them to not just come and set up stalls, but we want them to decorate those stalls. And, you know, we have a prize for the best decorated stalls and all of that. But the main focus is to give people an opportunity, the farmers, the fishermen, the butchers, an opportunity to come set up shop and give the people from overseas an opportunity to purchase so they have their food, their homegrown food for the 10 days that they're there.
All right, interesting. Nice. And before we continue the program, I want another fond childhood memory from any one of you. We heard about the clothes, and I think she mentioned, what's her name again? When you mentioned that you take clean clothes, right, and all of that. What was Christmas like in Laplaine back in the day? What can you remember about this before we continue with the activities? Obviously, what was Christmas like?
Can I answer one of, for me, I remember Christmas being about going to Roseau, and you know, as a little child, because growing up in Laplaine, it was a treat for your parents to take you to town, and Christmas was about that. It's one day you get to go shop. You know, you probably hardly even sleep the night before because you know you go into town. And you're getting up 5 o'clock, drink your coffee, they're waking you up, drink your coffee, get ready. And you go into town for you to shop and pick out your toys and all of that. And I'm thinking about it and I'm even a little teary because that is what Christmas was. You know, the feeling of a treat, you get the opportunity to go to dress up, to go to Roseau this one time in the year.
Yep. Yes.
Anybody else want to chime in on one of their, fondest memories?
Yeah, anybody, yeah.
I could attest to what Marcia said because I remember, growing up with my grandparents down there. If you see, that's when you go in town, that's the only time you go in Roseau, it's Christmas. And if you miss this Christmas or you get sick, it's not until the other Christmas you go in. So that's where the excitement is. But the thing about it is the food. That's when you see the little decanter. Remember the little decanter with the wine and then you put it on the table and everybody, and it's not anybody could drink from that, It's have to be the guests and them that, that come there and they drink from it and all this stuff. And it's the excitement. It's the excitement for that time. Yeah, that's what I could remember. Yes.
What about the smell of linoleum? This is called linoleum.
Yes.
The carpet.
The carpet.
Or you paint the house or something. Yes.
Or the killing of the pig, and the slaughtering of the cows and all of that.
You used to bust canoe, no? You never really had that in Laplaine.
We did.
Yeah,
We did.
yes. But you see, you have the cup going on the capsule and all this type of thing. As a little boy, growing up, you have your slingshot in your pocket and all this type of thing. That's the things, I mean, that you have, Yeah. That's
Yes,
your
yes.
toy. That was your toy, Yeah.
Edith Thomas Roberts says what she remembered the most was that Christmas soup. The Christmas soup that Christmas soup that Mama would
this
make
thing is making me hungry.
and villagers stopping to her from church. Yes, Jacqueline Stedman says the smell of the new carpets.
Yes.
Bevin says we used to stay up the entire night to make sure parents don't go Rosa without us. But not even as long at all.
Not at all.
Celestia Charles, what does Celestia says? Paint in the house. That paint used to smell strong. Phyllis Bertrand, Wiggles had to get our new dolls for Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
They still have dolls now?
Yes, they do.
I hardly see them. I mean, they're still dolls, but you hardly see that.
You bought dolls for your, I don't know, you bought dolls for your girls?
Yes, of course. They had to have their dolls.
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Vanilla is going house to house. At night,
yes, that's another fun time in the country
singing the Christmas song.
Yes.
And I think in Laplaine we call that, is it the Sewinal?
Yes.
Growing up, by 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock for the ladies, everybody's sleeping. And Christmas time, I would force myself to wait to see when, like, my aunts and uncles or the group passing by to sing Sewinal. But I was in La La Land. I missed probably most of the...
Yes, Rosalind Severin McLean, good morning to you. She says she remember her grandparents, to drive going up to the Severin house in Laplaine where the elders leave.
Okay.
And Alvin Thomas says he's on vacation and in Laplaine during Christmas.
Nigel.
Smell in the air.
Nigel, I was looking at something on the book and I cannot find it again. Something about goats.
You can't find it?
Something about goats in bathing suit. I would say that I see it. Nigel, look for it. Look for it. I can't find it again.
The goat fest.
No boy, Nigel. Let me get this. Go ahead. No, I would swear. Okay, look. No, that's not it. I see something about goats in bathing suit. Nigel, look for that comment.
Yes, something about bathing suit and goats. Okay.
Yes, we are going to have goats in.
What?
In fashion show. We're going to have a fashion show on Goat Fest the 26th.
I'm looking for the comments.
Trouble.
Well, Dexter, you want to go ahead and talk about that one? Let them know what...
Dexter disconnect.
Oh, but yes, Nigel, we are on Goat Fest. It's the 26th, right after Market Day. We're going into Goat Fest, and that's when we're going to have goats in fashion show. Like, you're going to dress up the goats, and we're going to have a big prize for that.
Why would I get in trouble there?
Goat in lipstick.
Goats
in nail polish.
A fashion show in goats. Well, look, that is going to be that's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, very interesting. What day is that?
That's the 26th, July 26th.
That's
so
we have the market day. Saturday or Sunday?
That's a Saturday.
Saturday, yes.
So what time? Nigel might just be a roving reporter that day, so I trying to put things in place there. We need to capture that. We need to capture that.
Yes.
We need to capture that, Nigel. What?
We have to capture that. To see who's going to be the goat to win on the runway model. The runway is going to be there to win that.
And
that's
after
the 26th. What time is that from?
We're starting at 3 p.m.
3 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to have the market day from 6 to probably about 12. Then we'll have a chance for the vendors to come up, set up their stall. So we're hoping to start off at 3 p.m.
All right. Wonderful. So we're looking forward to that event. And then next activity after the Goat Fest and Market Day for Difference. What's happening after that?
That's a Sunday, and we will be having the interdenominational church service. And again, it's an opportunity. We just come to just have God intervene and take care of us, protect us throughout those 10 days, those activities, invite the presence of God. And the thing about it is, Nigel and Ivona, we're going to have all the churches, and all of them were in agreement to come together, Pentecostal, Baptist, Catholic. We're going to have one worship at the Laplaine Jones Beaupier School, and all the churches are going to come together. We're going to have a worship team that is bring all the churches together, the pastors and the priests and the ministers, all going to come together, and we're going to worship to show what real togetherness is. We're serving one God, and that is what we are going to present on in Sunday at the interdenominational church service.
Wonderful. I love that. I love that. We come together to give thanks. That's beautiful. Yes. And then what happens later on in the afternoon? Anything happen later on in the afternoon, or after that, that's it until the next day?
After the service, we meet on the playing field for our first sports day. And that is being hosted by the sports committee. So we're going to have cricket, we're going to have football, we're going to have basketball. Somebody said we're going to have a total competition. So there are a lot of people that want to take part in that one. So it will be a sports day for the adults. We come out, we play cricket, football, dominoes. I'm forgetting the dominoes. So it will be a full day of activities for sports that we played, our parents played growing up.
Wow, Nigel, I love this. The Toto competition. It just brings back, childhood memories. Nigel, you ever ate Toto?
Well, yeah, of course I had Toto.
You knew how to do it yourself?
Well, I wouldn't say I knew how to do it.
Because Nigel's a Rosa guy, but me yourself, I know about Toto. I don't know Nigel about Toto. And even when, obviously when you go in the country, that was the biggest thing, because, I was in Grand Four. I was in Grand Four, so we know the vibe. But when I would come down to Rosa, I would get my Coke bottle, the Coke,
But of course, yes.
Wash that and pound my food.
You couldn't have the what you call it?
The water. Well, we had one, but it was too big for me at the time, yes.
You had to use whatever you could.
Yes.
Mix up, substitute whatever you could.
Nigel, how you used to eat the Toto?
Yeah, good question. And dip that in some gravy.
And those say you should bite it too. You cannot chew on
No, but you just put
and
it
in Valley, sorry.
Nigel is dip and Valley.
Yes.
Dip and done.
Valley.
Dip and Valley.
Yes.
You cannot chew on
Yes, you cannot chew Toto. You just put it in and finish, and that's it.
Somebody also said on the live, it's not bus, it was trucks. So I just wanted to bring that as well. So back in that time,
back then when you go into Rosa on the trucks, yes. Now you have bus. We graduate. Yes. So then you have the sports day, and then what? Yeah, go ahead. Oh, okay. I thought I heard somebody. So yes. So after the sports day, the next activity. I know we kind of winding up on time. What else happening?
The July 28th, which is the Monday.
If I may,
yes, go ahead, Dexter.
Yes, I do apologize.
We're getting some feedback from your end, so let's see if we can rectify that before.
No, I was just saying about the sports day.
Go ahead. Let's see.
You mute again,
Yeah.
Go ahead, Dexter.
Yes, sorry about that. Yes, I was saying about the sports day. One of the things that we're trying to capture in Vacation 2025. This is a big part of Laplaine.
We're still getting some feedback though from him. I guess we'll have to come back to Dexter. Dexter, see what you can do on your end, because we're not getting you as clearly as we were getting you before. There's some interruption, or I'm not sure.
Culture, back in the days when the entire community to participate on it.
Issues. We have some issues from Dexter's end. So Dexter, fix that up. Fix that up, Dexter. Fix that up, because we want to get some more vibes before we end. There's a lot happening in the book as well, Nigel. But Laplaine people are easy too. You see them on the book there.
Laplaine people take over.
My goodness, man! Come on, who does that?
Yes, I just leave them. Glenda Shillingford, Vin, Talifia Charles, Agatha Hill. Say Toto is just cut and swallow. Phyllis Bertrand. With Joseph, they mentioned there's also going to be Rounders. She said you left out Rounders.
The Rounders is going to happen on the second sports day.
Oh, the second sports day. You have two sports days.
Laplaine people, yes. They still like
Rounders. But I trying to think of who is a famous sports person from Laplaine that represent Dominica in something. That's for them to find out. Yes.
We had several those young people. Kurt. Hector comes to mind.
Yes, Kurt. Yes. Trying to think of if there's any cricketer, footballer. Well, of course, Laplaine had
football was Dennis.
For footballer, you had oh man, he represented Dominica. The name isn't coming right now, but he was on the national team.
I think must have been Dennis Ito.
Yes, I was just about to say Ito. I was just about to say the Ito guy.
Yes, Dennis Ito. So sports day, and then what else coming up after that? What are some of the other activities?
The Monday, which is July 28th, we have the morning free, so visitors can go to Roseau, visit their families who is out of Laplaine. So the morning is free. But the evening of Monday, we have a bonfire, and that's in Casgary by Jenna's place. Wow. She's going to set up her bonfire. We're going to hang out, eat, drink at her place, and while the fire is going, we may sing songs and just hang out around the fire.
Nice, nice. Yes. Nice you'll be gathering, sing songs of joy.
Yes.
Around the
bonfire. Manico roasting.
Maybe that
manico to roast.
And maybe a breadfruit too.
Breadfruit. Yes. Breadfruit is one of Ivona's favorite things. So yes.
Oh no, so I look at what I have there. I'm hungry, boy.
So that's on the Monday, and then tell us the other days.
The Tuesday, which is the 29th, we have a hike to the Sari Falls. Wow. Dexter, you want to elaborate on that one? If you're
I don't know if my audio will make me haunt again, but so the Sari we spoke about, we're going to be taking a hike. A lot of folks have not been up there in some time. So we'll be taking all the folks visiting Laplaine.
Yeah, it went again.
On the Sari hike.
Okay, all right. So that's the Sari. And I know time is almost up against us. Yes. But one of the highlights, what is there like going to be like an awards thing or a dinner and dance thing or a big fete thing?
Yes, we have the oldie goldies, which is, we asking people to dress up like in the 80s and 90s theme. Your Susun Clayway, the bright outfits, the bright socks, the fanny pack. So that is the oldie goldies by Kentos. Then we also have, something that is dear to our hearts is an elder dinner where we going to treat our elders like prince and princesses that they are, because they played so much of an integral role in our lives, in our development. So any of our elders 70 years and older, we're going to have a sit-down 5-course dinner. And we're going to pick them up. We have buses that is going to pick them up from their area, we don't want them to walk to the Couturiers Hall, but we're going to have buses picking them up, dropping them off, and bringing them back. Good. And we're going to entertain them, we're going to feed them, and then we're going to provide them with little gifts and just thank them for the things that they have done in, bringing us up, and that we are the people that we are today and can sit down and talk about the memories that we have. So that is very important to us. We have the Youth Day. We have
Can I add something to the elderly? Yeah. For the elderly that are unable to come to the dinner, we are preparing care packages for them. So everyone that's coming down, we ask them to walk with 1 or 2 items in their suitcase. When we get there, we pack gift bags and we deliver it to the ones that are unable to come to the dinner.
That's good.
I love that. I love that idea. I love that. By the way, Elwin, Carol Shillingford says hi. She mentions you're one of the best artists in the VI. So she wanted the rest of us to know you.
And he didn't even tell us that, you see?
Yeah, you see, he didn't tell us that. Yes. He didn't tell us that. Yes.
Okay, sorry, that picture.
Nigel, that's what they say. We were coming to that, I mean, if you notice the painting that is at the back of me, the image, that is something that I did. We talk about it. That is a village that's area in Laplaine that is well known to everybody in Laplaine. and that was done by me, and it's going to be raffled during one of the events.
What?
And that person is going to win a masterpiece. Trust me. I mean that is going to be a good thing. Seriously. Yeah.
Yes, because I can just see from what I'm seeing in the background there. Well done.
You can see all the
and
details.
I can just imagine that's your creation, your work of art. So congrats on that, man. And I can imagine the person that's going to do that. So I mean, I know we're almost wrapping up on time and everything else. So, Laplaine reunion is going to be from July 25th to August. What it is again?
August 4th.
August 4th?
August Monday. We're bringing on the curtain with Wet Fed. We're bringing on the curtain with Wet Fed. Please come to Laplaine. It's going to be a smash hit.
So that's going to be the final activity. Is going to be the Wet Fed.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, but one of the things, and then we did not mention, Nigel and Ivona. One of my best events. I mean, we have all of them are good, but one of the best events are the all white. The all white is one of the best nights. We're gonna have the all white on the night of the 2nd, and everybody's gonna be in their nice dandan. Everybody's gonna be dressed well, nice. You know what I mean? And we're gonna have fun. You know what I mean? It's a whole 11 days.
Any popular bands are gonna have like Midnight Groovers, Swinging Stars, Asa, any major artists that's gonna be at any of the events?
Yes. Let Nadia answer that.
All right, we have in for the Goat Fest, we have in Signal Band, we have in DJ MJ, we have in our very own Checo. All this 3 is on the Goat Fest. We have in on the Oldies, Marcia, I think you mentioned it, I'm not sure. We have in Midnight Groovers on for the Oldies.
Okay.
Nice.
So that's
nice. Okay,
nice.
So lots of activities getting ready for Laplaine reunion, July 25th to August. It's a time to kind of go on a vacation and to connect if you're people you haven't seen for quite a while, get some of the memories, go by the river, cook some food, do the bonfire thing, have the Goat Fest in costume and dress and everything else. So it looks like it's going to be a great reunion, man.
Nigel, let me just add also on the Maki Day. In 2022, Marcy and I tried our little Lapo Cab by ourselves with the guys. So this year we're actually having a Lapo Cab with band at the market day. So we won't have to look as bad.
Okay. All right. Nigel, what we can do.
And Nigel?
Yeah, I was just saying we have to end. But what we can do on another program is maybe just get a snippet of what is happening. But just go quickly, less than a minute.
Oh yeah, I know we're pressed on time, but we cannot end without talking about the second sports day where we're going to be donating from our diasporas, because so many people have contributed to this backpack drive that we have been doing for 9 years.
Great.
And we give all the students that graduating from going to high school and the kindergarteners a backpack filled. Well, the kindergarteners don't get the laptop, but the high schoolers get a backpack filled with all the stationeries, all the school supplies that they're going to need for high school. Okay. Laptops, calculators, every single thing. And we can only do that because of the people on the live, the people that are commenting, the people that, give back to us so that we can purchase those items. So we cannot end without talking about them and thanking them and telling them to continue to support us.
Okay, so here's one. As I said, we'll see if we can bring you on again, at least for just a roundup of what's happening. Maybe not a full crew, but we can see how we can organize something that we can get the latest on what's happening in Laplaine. But we have to end. We have to end, Nigel. We have to.
Yes.
Well,
Thanks for having us. Thank you.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
All the best.
And Nigel, go buy your ticket and come down here, man. Don't let me down.
But I thought Elwin gonna tell me, like I was saying, that ticket for you. Come down. He can't give me a guy or ticket. But yes, we'll
arrange something. We'll make something happen.
We'll arrange something.
Take care. Take care, guys. All the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So Laplaine it is. Laplaine.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Nigel, we'll do it again next week, God willing.
Yes, my dear. We connect again next week as always.
We have guests waiting, boy, Nigel. Everybody waiting for
Yes,
them.
we have a lineup. Let me say good morning to Pabi, and Pabi's son, by the way, is going to be on at some point very soon as well, So lots of connections to take place.
Nice. It's 2 parts now because we haven't got much time, so we'll make something happen.
I'm going to space to have everybody for 1 part.
Take care. All right.
Take care, my dear.
Moms! Anywhere you there, moms, pick up yourself, okay? Yeah, man, we're doing it. My sales reps, how you doing? Everything good? Customer care, how you doing? Everything good? Let me go, man. Let me go.